Come a little closer, my dear. Tonight we will not sit in the rocking chair. We will not walk outside. We will stay by the window where a small lamp has been resting for many evenings. It is not a large lamp. It does not brighten the whole room. It does not try to replace the night. It simply stands on the narrow table by the window, giving off a small, steady glow. The light is warm, not bright white, not sharp. It spreads softly across the surface of the table and touches the edge of the curtain. It does not travel far into the room. It prefers to stay close to itself. Outside the window, the lake is dark again tonight. The town has dimmed its lights. The sky rests quietly above the rooftops. But we do not need to look far. The small lamp is enough. Grandma walks toward the window slowly. The floor beneath her feet does not creak loudly. The house understands that this is the quiet hour. Even the air feels careful. The lamp has been turned on for some time already. It has been waiting, as if it knew someone would come and sit beside it. When Grandma sits in the chair near the window, she does not turn the lamp brighter. She does not move it closer. She lets it remain exactly as it is. The light falls gently across her hands. It makes the wood of the window frame look warmer. It softens the edge of the curtain. It draws a small golden shape onto the floor. The rest of the room remains dim. There is comfort in a light that does not try to reach everything. In the daytime, light fills the entire house. It pours through windows and stretches across walls. It shows every corner clearly. But at night, light becomes something different. It becomes personal. It becomes small and intentional. The lamp does not argue with the dark outside. It does not compete with the night sky. It simply holds its quiet circle. Grandma rests her hands on the table beside the lamp. The warmth from the bulb travels gently through the air, not hot, not intense, just enough to feel present. Outside, the lake is unseen but steady. The glass of the window reflects a faint image of the lamp, a second soft glow hovering in the darkness. It almost looks like two small lights facing one another, one inside, one reflected in the night. The curtain moves just slightly, touched by a quiet current of air. Not enough to flap, not enough to disturb, just enough to remind a room that it is still breathing. The lamp remains steady. It does not flicker. It does not dim. It does not brighten. Its steadiness becomes something the body begins to notice. Breathing slows a little. Shoulders lower a little. The eyes no longer search the darkness outside. They rest within the small circle of light. There is something about a single lamp at night that makes the world feel smaller in a gentle way, not trapped, not enclosed, just gathered. The table beneath the lamp holds a book that has not been opened. The pages remain closed, patient. Tonight there is no need to read quickly. There is no need to finish anything. The lamp's glow makes the edges of the book look soft. It gives the cover a quiet warmth. Grandma does not rush to speak. She allows the silence to remain for a moment longer. The lamp hums faintly, not a noticeable sound, just the soft presence of electricity passing quietly through the wire. It is almost part of the silence itself. Outside, the night continues without interruption. Inside, the lamp continues without effort. And in that small, steady light, something inside the room begins to settle. In the next part of our story, we will stay beside this same lamp. The window will remain dark. The light will remain small. But we will notice how this single glow changes the feeling of the entire night. For now, the lamp rests where it always has, by the window, warm and quiet, asking nothing, offering only a small circle of calm. The small lamp by the window continues to glow. It does not change its mind. It does not brighten, and it does not dim. It does not flicker as if it is unsure. It stays steady, warm, and low, holding its little circle of light, the way a hand holds something gentle without squeezing. Grandma remains in the chair near the window. She does not move quickly. There is no reason to. The room has already decided to be quiet. The night outside has already settled into darkness. The house does not ask for anything more. The lamp's light touches only a few things, and that is part of its kindness. It does not try to show every corner of the room. It does not chase the shadows away. It lets the shadows remain where they are comfortable, soft and undisturbed. It keeps the world simple. When the world becomes simple, the mind has less to hold. The edge of the curtain is the first thing the light touches. It makes the fabric look warmer, less like cloth, more like something calm and familiar. The folds of the curtain do not look sharp. They look like gentle waves that do not move. A faint line of light rests along the seam, and then the light stops. It does not push farther. The window frame glows softly, too. Wood looks different at night. It becomes quieter. The grain appears more gentle. The lamp makes the frame look as if it is carrying warmth inside it, even though the night air outside the glass is cool. The glass reflects the lamp in a faint, quiet way. The reflection is not bright enough to become a second lamp, but it is present. It sits in the darkness outside like a small floating glow. If you look at it for a long time, it feels as though the night is holding the light carefully, not swallowing it, simply holding it. The lake outside remains unseen, but you can sense it. Night air near water has a certain stillness. The coolness feels even, not sharp. It settles quietly on the glass, and sometimes it makes the window feel like a boundary between two kinds of calm, the calm inside and the calm outside. The lamp does not try to compete with the lake's darkness. It does not try to fill the night. It stays where it belongs, making only a small part of the room visible and allowing the rest to remain quiet. Grandma's hands rest on the table beside the lamp. The warmth from the bulb is gentle enough that you can feel it without needing to move closer. It is not heat. It is presence. It is a soft reminder that something steady is here. During the day, light often feels like a tool. It helps you see. It helps you do. It helps you move. But at night, light can become something else. It can become a companion. It can become a quiet promise that nothing sudden will happen. A small lamp is not meant to wake you. A small lamp is meant to stay with you. It is the kind of light that does not ask you to think. It does not demand that you look closely. It offers only enough so that the eyes can rest without falling into complete darkness. It gives the mind a gentle place to land. The table under the lamp holds a few simple things, perhaps a closed book, perhaps a small cup, perhaps nothing at all. Whatever is there looks softer under the glow. Edges blur slightly. Surfaces lose their sharpness. The lamp makes everything look like it belongs to night rather than day. The air in the room feels slower now. It is not that the air has changed. It is that awareness has changed. Awareness begins to move more slowly when there is less to hold. The lamp's small circle becomes the whole world. The rest of the room becomes background. The mind begins to do what it does when it is allowed to rest. It stops reaching forward. It stops looking for the next thing. It stops holding on to the last thing. Breathing becomes more noticeable again, not loud, not heavy, simply present. The inhale arrives softly, as though it is careful not to disturb the quiet. The exhale leaves slowly, as though it has all the time it needs. The lamp remains steady through every breath. If a thought appears, it appears gently, like a shadow passing across the edge of light. It does not arrive with urgency. It does not push. It comes, and then it goes, because the room does not give it much reason to stay. Grandma does not chase the thoughts away. She does not try to solve them. She simply remains beside the lamp, letting its steadiness do its quiet work. The curtain shifts slightly again, just a small movement, barely enough to change the shape of shadow on the wall. The lamp does not react. The light does not become brighter to chase the movement. It remains the same, as if it understands that even small movements can be allowed. The night outside remains calm. The town has already dimmed itself. The lake remains dark. There are no sudden noises, no lights flashing across the window. Nothing interrupts. Inside, the lamp continues to glow, staying close to itself, offering only a small circle of warmth. And the longer you stay with a light like this, the more you begin to understand its quiet lesson. It teaches the eyes to rest. It teaches the mind to soften. It teaches the body to remain without effort. In the next part, we will stay in the same place, by the same window, with the same small lamp. But we will notice something even gentler. We will notice how the light does not only touch objects, it touches time. It changes the feeling of minutes. It makes the night feel slower, wider, and softer, even though nothing in the room has moved. For now, it is enough that the lamp remains steady. It is enough that the light stays close. It is enough that the night outside asks nothing, and the quiet inside offers rest. The small lamp by the window is still glowing. It has not moved. It has not changed. And yet the room feels different now. When you sit beside a steady light long enough, something quiet begins to happen to time itself. Minutes do not feel like separate pieces anymore. They stretch softly into one another, the way warm air blends without edges. Grandma remains in her chair near the window. She does not shift her posture. She does not reach for the book. She does not adjust the lamp. There is no reason to improve what is already gentle. The light rests across the table exactly as before. But now it feels deeper, as though it has settled into the wood, rather than simply shining upon it. The surface of the table looks warmer, almost as if it is holding the glow inside. Outside the window, the lake remains unseen, but its stillness presses softly against the glass. The night air does not move in a hurried way. It leans quietly against the house and stays there. The reflection of the lamp in the window has grown fainter, not because the light has dimmed, but because the eyes no longer focus on the glass. The reflection becomes part of the dark, floating gently. No longer something to look at, just something that is there. The curtain barely moves now. The air inside the room feels heavier in a comforting way. Not thick, not difficult to breathe, just settled, like a blanket that has found its place and no longer needs adjusting. The lamp continues to glow within its small circle, and within that circle time slows. There is no clock in sight, and even if there were, it would not matter. The passing of seconds feels less important. The space between breaths feels wider. The pause between thoughts feels longer. Grandma's breathing is even now. The inhale arrives quietly. The exhale leaves gently, without hesitation. There is no counting, no guiding. The breath shapes itself in response to the calm around it. The light does not flicker. It does not pulse. It simply remains. When something remains steady for long enough, the body begins to trust it. Shoulders lower a little more. The neck softens. The small muscles in the face release their hold without being asked. The lamp's warmth rests against Grandma's hands. The heat is faint but present. It does not demand closeness. It is simply there, reminding the skin that something steady exists nearby. The book on the table remains closed. Its pages do not ask to be turned. The cover looks softer now, its edges less defined in the low light. Nothing in the room asks to be used. The room is no longer a place where things happen. It is a place where things remain. The mind begins to respond to this. Thoughts no longer arrive in full shapes. They come as faint impressions. A memory may flicker briefly, but it does not carry weight. A plan may try to form, but it dissolves before it completes itself. The lamp does not argue with these thoughts. It does not try to replace them. It simply continues to glow, steady and unchanging. And that steadiness becomes stronger than the thoughts. Outside, the town has fully settled into night. No passing headlights slide across the wall. No sudden sounds rise from the street. The world beyond the window feels far away now, almost unreal. Inside, the small lamp holds its quiet territory. The circle of light seems slightly smaller than before, though it has not changed. Perhaps it feels smaller because attention has softened. The edges of brightness fade gently into shadow without a line between them. Grandma's eyes grow heavier, not in a dramatic way, not closing quickly, but resting more fully between blinks. The light does not strain them. It does not glare. It simply exists. Breathing continues. Inhale, exhale. The night outside feels wide, but the room feels contained in a safe way. The window separates the darkness from the warmth. The lamp marks the center. If you listen closely, you might hear almost nothing at all. No ticking clock, no shifting furniture, only the faint presence of the lamp's electricity passing quietly through the wire, a sound so small it blends into silence. Time moves, but it does not feel like movement. It feels like stillness continuing. The longer you sit beside a steady light, the more it becomes less about seeing and more about feeling. The lamp is no longer illuminating objects. It is shaping the mood of the room. It is holding the quiet in place. Grandma does not speak. She does not need to. The story tonight is not carried by words alone. It is carried by steadiness. In the next part, we will stay here again. The lamp will not move. The window will not change. But the difference between light and darkness will begin to soften even further until it becomes difficult to tell where one ends and the other begins. For now, the small lamp continues to glow by the window. Time continues to slow, and nothing else is required. The small lamp by the window is still glowing. It has been glowing through the quiet, through the slowing of time, through the softening of breath. It has not changed its brightness. It has not moved from its place, and yet the room feels different again. The circle of light is no longer something you measure with your eyes. It is something you feel. The edge between brightness and shadow has grown softer. There is no clear line where the light stops and the darkness begins. The curtain rests beside the window without moving now. The glass reflects only a faint suggestion of the lamp. Outside, the lake remains dark and wide, but it feels less separate than before. The darkness beyond the window no longer seems distant. It feels like an extension of the room. The lamp continues to glow, but it no longer stands out. It belongs. Grandma remains seated near the window. Her hands are still. Her shoulders have settled fully into rest. Her breathing is slow and steady, moving in and out with no interruption. The inhale is quiet. The exhale is gentle. There is no pause that feels sharp or deliberate. Breath follows breath the way the night follows itself. The small table beneath the lamp holds its shape without demanding attention. The closed book is barely visible now, not because the light has dimmed, but because the eyes no longer look for detail. Objects fade into presence rather than form. The room has become less about things and more about feeling. The warmth from the lamp lingers softly in the air. It is not heat that warms the skin strongly. It is warmth that exists just enough to remind the body that it is safe. The house remains quiet. The walls do not echo. The floor does not shift. The world outside does not interrupt. The lamp hums faintly, so faintly that it is difficult to tell whether it is sound or simply the feeling of steadiness. Light and darkness now seem less like opposites. They rest beside one another without tension. The glow by the window does not fight the night. The night does not swallow the glow. They remain together. The window no longer feels like a boundary. It feels like a soft meeting place between inside and outside. The darkness beyond the glass is calm. The light within the room is calm. Neither one tries to become the other. Breathing slows just a little more. The body feels heavier in the chair, not weighed down, but supported. The small muscles that held the day in place have released completely. The jaw is loose. The hands are open. The shoulders no longer carry effort. Thoughts have thinned to almost nothing. If one appears, it does not stay long enough to shape itself. It drifts through gently, like a faint shadow passing across a quiet wall. The lamp continues to glow, but it no longer feels like a lamp. It feels like part of the night. The difference between the circle of light and the surrounding darkness has softened until it is almost impossible to separate them. The room feels wide and contained at the same time, open and protected all at once. The lake outside remains unseen, but its stillness feels closer now, as if the calm water and the calm room are connected through the glass. Nothing concludes. Nothing changes suddenly. The lamp does not turn off. It simply remains steady. The night does not deepen sharply. It simply continues. Grandma sits by the window, breathing quietly, not needing to move, not needing to speak. The story does not end with an announcement. It does not close with a lesson. The small lamp by the window keeps glowing, soft and warm. The darkness keeps resting around it. And in that quiet balance, light beside night, warmth beside cool air, breath beside stillness, everything continues gently, without interruption, without urgency, without needing to be anything more than it already is.